As many as 150 people are feared dead in northern India after part of a glacier broke off and crashed into a dam in Uttarakhand state, unleashing floods, waters and debris. Eyewitnesses say it happened so fast that people had almost no time to react. A search for survivors is underway.
Amateur video shows the small dam being swept away by the water and debris released by the avalanche. It then cut further through the area, hitting the hydroelectric power plant in the valley below. It's feared that people working at the Rishiganga power plant were perhaps swept away, as well as some villagers. The tragedy happened in the Tapovan area of the northern state of Uttarakhand in northern India. This region in the Himalayas is prone to flash floods and landslides. Rescue operations were underway as crews looked for survivors and tried to secure the area.
Our correspondent Nimisha is in Delhi following the events in the district of Uttarakhand for us. Nimisha, it's difficult to even imagine these pictures that we're seeing are truly shocking. How dramatic is the situation there right now?
Well, Rebecca, from the updates we're getting, the situation definitely is grim. We have heard about the 150 laborers who were working on one of the power plants that was hit. Another power plant further down has also been damaged. There are also villages and homes peppering the banks of the river further down that could also have been hit. Thousands of people from the region have already been evacuated. Teams from the army, the border police, as well as disaster response forces have been deployed. The damage is being assessed, and while authorities claim that flood waters have already been brought under control to a certain extent, it's only when all this water actually recedes that they will be able to assess the true extent of the damage as well as the loss of life.
Yeah, you mentioned the flooding there. I mean, there's terrifying pictures that we're seeing. Has that flooding really been contained now, or are authorities expecting things to get worse?
Well, so far, Rebecca, authorities are saying that what they are insisting on is that people must not be responding to rumors about further flooding or any such or any determined information about the loss of life, because they want to ensure that panic isn't caused. However, some information has already been released saying that further down the water is below the danger mark, so there is hope that further flooding can be prevented further down. And there's also dams being used to either stall the flow of the water or to cause for water to be evacuated into a separate area. However, the parts of the river where the water has crashed through the power generators as well as the dams have already been severely damaged, and that is where the disaster response forces will be concentrating.
Now, we know from the eyewitness accounts that it happened so fast that people didn't really have time to react, but were there any warnings that something like this might happen?
Well, Rebecca, while there may not have been immediate warnings, there have been long-term warnings being given by local environmentalists as well as journalists who have pointed out that an emphasis on tourism in the area, which has led to the widening of roads, as well as an emphasis on hydropower projects, can lead to disasters and must actually be discontinued. The current Modi government has actually been criticized for not coming down more heavily on these hydropower plants. Back in 2013, there was a massive flood episode in the region. The Himalayas are after all an area that is prone to earthquakes and cloudbursts. And the 2013 episode caused the loss of over 5,000 lives and damages to 4,500 villages. So this is, of course, a region that does need attention, and this disaster will bring focus back on that fact.
All right, Nimisha, thanks very much for the update. DW correspondent Nimisha Jaiswal in Delhi.